In today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at the overall upcoming pattern. It finally appears like the East is going to see a substantially very warm pattern after about the kind of 10th to 18th time frame is when we're mostly going to be watching for that, but we're going to walk through that at the very end of this video. Also with that is going to come more chances at storminess, so I realize it has been very quiet in the eastern half of the nation for the most part. It depends where you're at. There might be some areas in there that have been more active, but there has been quite a few areas that have been much quieter, and those areas are expected to especially pick up in activity over time. So we'll see all those things here in the video. Let's just walk through it here. And as you can see, by this afternoon on Monday the 5th here, we do have this kind of just really persistent and very repetitive cycle of intense storm development here across the south central and even the Rockies here, as this very moist southwest air that we've been talking about for so many days now moves in. I don't want to break that down too much because I realize I've been talking so much about that, but we're going to have to talk about it as we see it here. In the northeast, there is a low near Maine by the time we're reaching tomorrow afternoon. This is going to swing around some showers and thunderstorms from the north into New York, New England, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. That's where we're going to be watching for some of that. We have a pretty interesting system over the upper Midwest, as well as there's some pretty descending storms taking place. And then we're seeing some typical summertime stuff here along the Gulf. This looks like a crazy face going on right here. But we see that there is some activity here in the kind of Gulf Coast area, deeper south area here, all kind of associated with this moisture coming in from the southwest still. And again, the Rockies and Plains, we're seeing some of this activity again as well. As we reach towards Wednesday here, that's going to be June 7th, we can see that we have kind of this southwest flow kind of heading south, then to the east here. And this is all kind of associated with some of this moisture coming in this way. We're also seeing some of it move in like this. So there is a lot of this moisture coming in from the west to the east, and it's kind of streamlined into these more linear types of areas, as you can see. This action going on, some of this as well, just very linear in nature. Now, as we move towards Thursday, what we see is a little bit of some quieter conditions. We do see primarily the northern Rockies and northern Plains seeing a lot of our activity here. So states like Idaho, Montana, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. These are the types of areas we're going to be watching for on Thursday, primarily for a lot of that storminess. We still haven't switched into a new pattern yet. Friday, even, we haven't by the 9th. We're still seeing a lot of just the Plains and the Rockies seeing a lot of this activity. We're actually seeing quite a bit of the Northwest as well seeing that. So that is our areas there. And also the Northeast, which has been kind of one of those exceptions in the East that has seen plenty of activity, continues to see storm after storm after storm here. By the time we are reaching Saturday the 10th here, this is around when those tides are going to start to change. We can see that a lot of the activity actually by this point is over the west in general. As you can see, this is kind of the most active area, as well as over here across the plains and the upper Midwest here. We're seeing a lot of thunderstorm activity as well. But still, for like the 5th or 6th day in a row here, you can see that this area here in the east is the quietest in the nation, not really seeing anything substantial move through still to this point, outside of the couple of systems we see in the northeast. Again, which is an exception to the overall pattern. Let's just move this towards Sunday and see if things start to really change in big ways. And finally here, you could see a more substantial system moving into the east here by the time we're reaching Sunday the 11th into Monday the 12th. We still have activity out west, though, as you can see. A little bit of a low here in between Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming. And this is also bringing precipitation to these areas also by that point. As we reach about Monday afternoon, you can see that we do see a pretty substantial cold front rolling through. Or actually, you know, I don't think it does have cold front dynamics, actually, even though it looks more linear. This is actually around when we're seeing warmer air, so I take that back. But this storm in general is causing storminess up and down the coast, but I do not think it is a cold front. By the time we reach Tuesday afternoon, you can see this becomes a little bit more of a substantial low that kind of curls back towards New York State. It's over the Adirondacks at this point, and that is also bringing still some storminess up and down the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast corridor there. And then by the time we're reaching Wednesday the 14th here, we can see that this storm is up in Canada now, still bringing impacts to the northeast. We have more storm systems back out west that likely are going to begin heading back into the east. And we're going to see the whole cycle start back over due to these kind of moving back and forth from west to east. Total precipitation here is looking a little bit more active for the east, obviously based on what we just saw. We do expect activity to overall begin to pick up in this area over time. There is some really stormy periods here for the northwest as well, and that is what is contributing to this very high amounts of precipitation in this area there. For the total snowfall, we could see a dusting to a few inches here for the Rockies, and then we could see nearly a foot there for the Sierra Nevada still, so that is pretty on par with what we've been tracking for this area. So we see kind of like a continuation of that taking place here still by that point. Now, for the temperature pattern, we are dealing with overall colder temperatures in the east, like we've been mentioning here. We continue to kind of see that taking place there. By the time we were reaching kind of Friday time frame, Saturday, Sunday, we begin to see the warmth move towards the east. We do get a cold front again for kind of that Monday, Tuesday time frame there. So I take that back. That storm that we were talking about a minute ago, I guess, was a cold front because I think it was during this time frame. I don't know why I'm getting my dates so mixed up, but by the time we're reaching kind of Thursday, Friday, this is what we end up seeing, and this is classic stuff, guys. Okay, so we have this negative PNA back here, really cold temperatures, and you can see instantly this allows for kind of the floodgates to open and warm temperatures to really flow into the east pretty easily from south to north there, as you can see. And this is what I'm talking about when I say negative PNA, guys. It instantly takes place here. So we see the cold builds into the west, and watch how fast the warmth builds in when we see that. So the cold is building in, and already the warmth is just there instantly. So again, that's after the 15th time frame. And look, it just continues all the way through at least the 20th here. We see something pretty on par with this continuing in this pattern. So not only do we see significant warmth for probably like the first time this summer, but we also see consistent in longevity in this warmth as well, and that is all going to be really contributing factors moving forward in this pattern. So this is all stuff we need to watch. This is all stuff we will be continuously tracking with you guys. So be sure to subscribe. We do upload about all of this every single day, so you can tune in daily for those. If you want to get notified when we do upload, you can hit the bell icon for those daily notifications as well. Also, on top of all of that, be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.